Hey guys, how is it going? I'm here today with another video. So today I'm not going to do any gameplay or anything. So what I'm going to do today is talk about the video that Ember released this morning. So I hope you kind of watched the video by now, so I don't really have to explain. But probably for the people who haven't watched the video yet, so I'm going to kind of give you a snapshot before we kind of get into what I wanted to say today. So what really going to happen is merge. That's what they kind of started the video all about. So the product manager basically said, hey, you've been asking a lot of questions and I'm here to answer them, and I'm going to do I think we're going to do some sort of new things that you will all like. So a lot of information still missing, so we are still assuming a lot of things, so there is no clear concrete information on what this is going to be, but they did give some information out. So here's the snapshot of what Ember is cooking. What they're going to do is every account will be given a regional teleport. So those are the things that were missing in the last few months. I mean, at least for a year. So you'll be given a regional teleport. So you will now be able to teleport to whatever region you want to. Again, I'm not sure what's going to happen to region 25 and 26 because the packs are really bad. Again, it's completely locked out from other regions, as you know. So I'm not sure what that's going to be. So what you have is a regional teleport, and it's going to be infinite. So when I say infinite, what it means is you can actually keep moving around. So you click on that regional teleport, you choose the teleport that you want to go, and then you can stay there, and then there is a cooldown period where you cannot move out of that region. After the cooldown period is done, just like the bubble, and then you can again move to another region. So can kind of keep going back and forth. So that's the whole idea about this regional teleport. So what will happen to your alliance? Again, they've answered that. So if your general wants to move the whole alliance, the general will have a special ability to do that. Like they might have a separate button or items, I don't know, but they will be able to move the entire freaking alliance to a new region. There were questions on what happens if the general is not active. So they're going to put the most active person or major. I think they might go by power or most active major as their new general, so that he or she can decide and move if they want to. So that's what they are saying. So you can actually move your alliance if you're a general, or you can actually move individually. So I hope the individual move is also part of this, otherwise it's kind of boring. This is what they're going to do in spring, so we still have a lot of time. So we'll wait until then. We'll see what's in store for us. And then it starts to have some questions, right? Is that really what we all wanted? I mean, every time we are frustrated about the game, we always go to GC, and then we talk about how frustrated the region is. It's not active, it's dying. We want to merge, but is that really what we want? I don't know. I think the players wanted something else, or maybe some wanted. I mean, it's a mixed reaction that I saw on Facebook post that they had. So I don't really know whether everybody likes it, but there is something to be excited about. So everybody is talking about something about a so-called merge. It's not a merge. So the merge that we all know. So it's not actually what we see right now. So the merge last time was two regions would actually put into one server. So our understanding of Ember servers are, okay, each region is in different server, or at least partition within the server, and then the two regions will actually get into one location or one map. So that's what we thought a merge is all about, right? So we never thought of something else, some other things like merge. So that's very simple. Put two of the best into one. So what happened in those mergers is maybe some thought put through. I'm not saying that Ember is perfect, but there's a lot of thought behind what are the regions they need to merge, and depending on the power. So even if a less powerful region is merged with most powerful, there's only one big person who would have to fight, right? So that's the option that we had. So right now it's not the case. So now what's going to happen is you can actually move between any alliances, so there would be a lot more possibilities and scenarios that we might have to deal with. So let's do some talking about that. So again, it's all speculation. We don't really know what's in store. We just got what the kind of message that we got from Facebook video. So we don't really know what they have in their mind. But all we know is we will be able to move across regions, right? So let's talk about the positives and negatives between having this functionality moving forward. So now the positives: war, right? War. So you're gonna keep engaged in war. I think the warmongers, they really love this, and people who really want to fight, this is a great opportunity. So if your alliance or if your region is completely dead, you don't have really any targets, I think this would actually open up a lot more enemies for you. Either they would come and visit, or you can choose to visit them. So this for me is a positive, but obviously we all know that you're going to keep spending. Otherwise it's going to cost a lot. Otherwise you won't really enjoy. So for people who like war fighting, yeah, this is a big positive. Resources. So now there will be a high chance of people moving resource from one region to another region. So when the time that Empire Z started, and then it kind of peaked, we all knew where the resource came from. I mean, all the friends will bring resource from other regions, depending on where the farms were formed. It's going to start again, in my opinion. So we'll have plentiful of resources, and due with the connections that everybody has, so there won't be any problem with the resource from a positive standpoint. I mean, there's also negative, which I'll be covering it later. So the resource will be plentiful. That's a good news for a lot of us. And the third thing that I always hear in the alliance is the loved ones are playing in the different regions. So my wife is playing there, my husband, my son, and all those things will now be, people will be happy because now you get to play in the region where your loved ones are. But again, I don't really know whether you will be able to do that. See, at the end of the day, when the decision has to be made, that's when people will think, I need to leave my alliance, I don't want to do this. So all these things will come up. But if you really want to go play with your loved ones, I think this is the right time. So you guys can go and join your people that you want to play with. So that's a good news for somebody who really wanted this for a very long time. And another thing is you can choose to go to a region and then join more powerful alliances if your region is dead, for example. So or if your region is monopolized. So I mean, again, I don't know whether this monopolized is a word, but so if you think your region is dead, it's too much of monopolization happening with a lot of people having the same tag or something. So this is the right time. So again, you get a chance to go explore different regions and find out what fits you, make new friends, and try to find a new home. So which would be good for you. And another thing is probably there'll be some unity among the alliances within the region, hopefully. So when there is a force that's entering into your region, and your region, most of them choose not to leave the region, so then the invasion might cause or create opportunities to be united. So a lot of these enemies might be a good friends. I don't know. I mean, just a hypothesis. And most of the cases, if it's an enemy, I know you'll be like a lifetime enemy. But this is just an hypothesis. Probably the enemies will become good friends, and unity among people in certain alliances and certain region, and new alliances. So again, if a certain group of people want to migrate and then come in here and stay in this new region, so there's always an opportunity for these people to join the alliances, and then that might actually evolve into a different alliance depending on what sort of talents are coming in. Again, as you can actually see how the alliances evolve is the leadership skills that the generals have, the connections, the diplomacy, the knowledge of the game. So all these things would actually draw people into their alliance. So usually the successful alliances have all these common traits. So all these new people might actually cause some sort of not a distortion, it will be some sort of confusion among the alliances, and then they might form into a new alliance with all the people getting into following a new leader. So that's, for me, it's a positive, because in your region, if you're bored of the existing alliances, and this is a great opportunity to get a new pool into the mix, and then that might change and create newer alliances. So I don't know. I mean, these are the positives that I thought. There might be more positives. And let's talk about negatives, right? So what would be the most negative? The imbalance in power. So that's what I feel might be a problem. Initially, we're all excited, so we all kind of like it. But what happens in the as the time goes by, when this real thing, when this thing happens, is you would actually see big powers entering the regions, and there'll be a lot of imbalance. And we know for a fact that there are some regions where the players are bigger than the alliances in certain regions. So that's actually an imbalance in power, right? So just assume that two big alliances from region 21 or something, where they are like 200 billion or something, they enter and into R20 or smaller regions, and not a lot of players, not a big alliance is also lesser than the bigger players. So a 50 billion player can come in, and then he is bigger than pretty much all the alliances except for the top one. So there'll be some imbalance of power, and because of this, what's going to happen is the smaller players who are active still, I'm saying, when I say smaller players, these are the players who don't spend, but they have spent enough time in the game. They spend once in a while to keep up with the team, and all these players might quit because it might be a little bit of overwhelming for them, because just imagine that you get beaten up like every single day. So be it even within the existing regions, you're already getting beaten up, and the new bigger players might actually cause some trouble. And I'm talking about the smaller players who don't spend that much of money but still are really, really, really active. And they are plenty, I mean, in most regions. And these people will be the most affected, and they can't really keep up with the perma bubble. See, at the end of the day, Ember hasn't even opened up to hit infected cities if you are bubbled. So that sucks. So these people won't really have much apart from talking to friends, which is a bigger part in the game. But they won't get to do a lot more freely, because the invasion might cause 24/7 war, which is my concern. And the other thing is protecting the farms, right? So it will be a pain. So just imagine all these people from the bigger regions, and the bigger players might enter the smaller regions, and if they start to farm, and it's basically how the bigger players want to keep the resource flowing, so they might actually choose a region to come in, and then they'll be there. They farm the inactives, and then while the smaller players or medium players bubble, they can't really clear the farms, and these people will have an advantage of clearing the farms and sending the resource back to their main region. So it'll be a feeder region for them. So that could be one of the problems that we all might end up in a smaller region. Again, these are all hypotheses based on my personal thoughts, and probably I might be completely wrong. I mean, obviously, I have not seen a lot more region. I'm just talking about one region or two regions or three regions that I've played in Empire Z. So talking about the farms, I think that's going to cause a lot of problems with most people, because they over the period of time we have a lot of accounts and stuff. So that's another concern, might be a negative for us. And monopolization of I don't know if it's a word, of regions, right? So just imagine what will happen to a stronger alliance. They would actually get connections within the regions, and then they will start to form their feeder alliances in multiple regions. So in the past, it was really not possible to even send resources or exchange the knowledge or something. So now what happens is there is a opportunity to move people from region to region, and this opens up monopolization of alliances inter-region. So there will be the same alliance with the same tag in multiple regions, and the cohesion of work will be much more closer, right? I mean, they'll be more cohesive, the synergy is good. So that might actually cause trouble, because once they start to do have the roots, and then the monopolization kind of kills the game, in my opinion. And the other one that I was again, this is a bizarre scenario. All these are bizarre scenarios. Excuse me if you think I'm completely wrong and it's all bullshit that I'm coming out of my mouth. But one of the bizarre scenario I was thinking about is one region attack. Assuming that when this opened up and people don't want to lose power and they don't want to get into the war straight away, but what they might do is 4 or 5 bigger alliances. When I say big, they are like super big, might join hands together from different regions and target one region, so the weaker region, and then they might just kind of colonize that and then start to use that as a feeder region for other regions. So technically one region might be killed. There might be some players who would survive. The bigger players, the big spenders might survive, but the weaker ones will actually die, and then the weaker regions would fall prey for them. So again, chances of happening 0.0001%, but there is a possibility of happening. So positives and negatives. Positives of some side can be a negative for another side. So again, it's a vice versa. So it's not everybody thinks a positive as a negative. So let's hope that this brings a lot more active players in, and all the new players. Again, I hope the Ember would actually allow them to choose the region, so the regions will be filled with the new players that's coming in. So then it'll be a good mix to the pool. Instead of closing the regions, I don't want Ember to do this. I really want the Ember to open up 25 and 26 and give them a better packs. Let them grow for the next 2 months, make them really grow to a stage where at least the bigger player has a substantial amount of power, and the bigger alliances, and then just keep 1 to 26 or whatever number of regions they have, and then any new player comes in, they'll have a choice to go into the region that they want. Again, I don't know whether they will set a limit for overwhelming number of people joining one region, and that would actually prevent one region attack that I just mentioned. So all these are hypotheses. Again, there's a whole possibilities that it might happen, but end of the day, we're all excited. At least something has happened. Ember is responding to everybody's queries on Facebook. At least we feel like humans are responding. Last time it was all probably the machines responding with the standard statements and stuff. But anyway, so I just wanted to kind of cover this to give you my thoughts, and please leave comments if you think that what I said is completely wrong, or if you disagree. Let's use the comment section to have a healthy discussion. And again, thanks a lot for watching my previous videos and subscribing to my videos, and we have reached 500 subscribers, and really thank you for that. For every one of you who are watching this video and subscribing to my channels. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, and if you think it'll be good, please do subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you.